the front bump. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. You're gonna come down here, but the difference is you're gonna lift it, and people do it different. The way that we did it, you're gonna turn your head. What you don't want is to take a front bump with your head straight down. I don't care how much timing you have, you don't got that much damn timing to stop that nose from hitting that mat when it's live. You're still gonna attack the mat, and instead of just falling straight with some broken ass toes, you wanna flatten them out like that and bring this up safely like that. So you've got 4 points of contact with a face turn. Coming down. And another way to get in there is a twisting jump to give you more timing practice. Straight down. Not bad. So, I mean, for men it's different. I almost popped a titty just now. So you just got to be careful. You got to make sure your weight is even. You got to protect yourself and whatever you got going on. Okay? The next bump we're going to do is a flip bump. I'm a nice person, so I'm going to take him over to thicker mats just in case he doesn't make the full rotation. We don't want anything to happen to his neck or his back. So we're going to head over there and we're going to teach him the flip bump. This is a spring floor for gymnasts. So it's got some cushion. It may or may not work in his favor. We'll see how high he bounces his ass up. But it's softer than there. Softer than an actual wrestling ring. It's timing. It's listening, because you want to go off of 1 foot, not 2. Did you hear me? 1 foot, not 2. You got to power up off 1 foot. Your head, you have to have confidence to do this. And it's a timing drill. Proper weight distribution, attack the mat, tuck the chin, and do not dig your heels into the mat. While this may not feel bad, with boots on, doesn't matter. If your heels hit during a bump, especially if you've been taken out by a badass clothesline, it's gonna hurt. You wanna come off of 1 foot. You wanna go up in the air with your chin up, and you wanna tuck at the last minute. Now it's important to get enough height to be able to have that full rotation, to be able to bump perfectly. So keep that in mind. It's a snap. It is not a float over, it is a snap, and you want to attack the mat every time. You want to get up, head up, you want to snap it and attack the mat at the same time. Here, you'll bounce up like you just saw, but when you get in a wrestling ring, it's solid, you won't. So this will protect him a little bit more for now until he gets the gist of it and can actually do it live.
How'd that look?
That wasn't bad.
I bounced a lot.
Yeah, so this, like I said, this is a bounce floor. I didn't want to put him on a solid mat until I saw. And plus I wanted to scare him a little bit. And
I was scared.
he was scared.
I was scared.
All right, so go ahead and pull that blue mat over here. I'm actually gonna let you, it'll stop the bounce and it'll give you more impact. All right, so the problem with doing it on a crash pad type of mat like this is you sink more in. But that's okay, because you're gonna have to power up higher, you're gonna have to jump higher, you're gonna have to snap and turn quicker, because you have this about 4 inches worth of mat to make up for. But it's still good training, and it's still safe before you go in live. So same thing, up 1 foot, head up, snap. All right, so those weren't bad, but I want to see him walk more into it, because what he's doing is he's stopping and then he's kind of adjusting himself. Start from back here, step up. Okay, did you hear 1, 2? Try to get it 1. It should all sound like 1. Power up, confidently walk into it. That's perfect. His chin was tucked, he protected his neck, he had an even smack attack of the mat, his back was flush, his heels were not dug in, his feet were flat, and he safely took that bump. So do it 1 more time. I'm gonna point something else out that's very important. Incorrect way to get up. Now, I've never taught him this yet, but they're gonna look for this. You never get up like that. You always wanna get up on your right side. So anytime you take a bump, okay, let's come lay down. Okay, so we just took a bump. You wanna take this left leg and swing it around. You wanna get on this right forearm and get yourself up. We don't just stand straight up. It slows down the flowing of water. It slows down the match process. So it's easier, more fluid, more efficient, and looks better to come around this way than it does this way. So every bump you take, whether it's in practice, warm-ups, training, or live in the ring in the middle of a match, as soon as you take that bump, you get up on the right side. All right, give me 10 of those. Let's go. All right, roll over here, front bump. Let's go. So he could have hurt somebody. He could have hurt himself. I said front bump, not flip bump. You've got to be able to listen. He's tired. His brain's a little rattled. They cannot have people that come in here and pull some shit like this. That's why it's important to learn, listen, muscle memory. So what we're gonna do now, because if somebody would have called something and he would have confidently went with that, which was the opposite of what I said, that's injury. You are wrestling people with families, with wives, with husbands, people that have dreams just like his. Don't hurt them because your ass can't listen. Make sense? I said front bump, he did a full-blown flip bump. Go ahead and give me 10 more. Down, get up, 10 more. We're gonna get his heart rate back up. We're gonna get his endurance back up. We're gonna get blood flowing. Go. Keep going to his brain, because in pro wrestling, you have to be able to have all that adrenaline, all that endurance pumping, your blood flowing, your brain rocking and rolling, and listen at the same time, safely. And you see how he's still getting up the right way. They're looking for that. Front bump. Front bump. What was that? Front bump. Let's fix it. Let's go. Confident. All right, back bump. Back bump. Let's go. Back bump. Flip bump. Flip bump. Flip bump. Back bump. Let's go. Get up. Get up. Get up. Front bump. Let's go. All right, good job. Over. They want to see if you have the endurance and can listen. It's important. All right, so day 2 of training was remembering the roles. They're very important. Listening under stressful situations, under endurance drills, under being heavy-winded. Cardio. In-ring cardio. Pro wrestling cardio is not like any other cardio. It's not like you could just go on a 10-mile run or do sprints to be ready for what we call in-ring shape. And he kind of learned that today. He got a little taste of kind of bumping drills. Like I said, it's very important to work on neck strength, ring awareness, and listening. He showed today that he has what it takes to learn how to bump. He has the confidence, which is sometimes very hard to find. You would be shocked if you've seen how many people were scared to death to take their first back bump. And then I want to just harp on listening. In this business, it is not just you. Freestyle, folk style, amateur wrestling, where you go out on the mat, or even BJJ, MMA, you know, you're working with another body, right? In here, you have got to be working together. You have got to listen. You have to know what is about to be called, and you have to execute it with confidence. You have to be ready. You have to be able to listen on the fly. And most importantly, you have to have the endurance. One thing you can control is having the endurance needed, the cardio needed to be able to listen and execute. Because a lot of times you see people are just not, they don't have in-ring shape. They know how to do moves, but then whenever that cardio hits that certain limit, they kind of shut down and they cannot listen. You know how to do a flip bump and you know how to do a front bump, but because you did a drill that heightened your heart rate, it was kind of harder to listen, especially freshly learning. So just keep that in mind going forward. You have got to be able to work on that cardio, work on that in-ring shape, and be able to listen efficiently to not only protect your partner, but protect yourself in this business. How was day 2?
It was great. Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot.
It's only going to get harder. You know, I'm just giving him little tastes of kind of what the pro wrestling business is about, to see if this is something that he wants to really do in his life. I've been a United States Marine. I've graduated college. I've done freestyle wrestling. I've done folk style wrestling. I've been a wife. I've had 2 9-pound babies, one on my couch. And pro wrestling is freaking hard, okay? It takes a lot out of you. One of our next little sessions is not going to be this. Not going to be working out in the physical part. It's going to be the mental part, because that's a huge discussion. And I'm really going to dive into that because I think that it changes people's lives. Mentally, emotionally, financially, your relationships. It's not just bumping. It's not just neck drills and in-ring shape and confidence in promos. This changes your life. This is a lifestyle that either you want or you don't. I'm very proud of you. Good job today.
Thank you.
Take some aspirin, get some ice on your back, and be ready for tomorrow.
For sure.
All right, man. Bye, guys.